Welcome to GREYS, your one-stop shop to finding winners across Australia from the world of greyhound racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Hall of Famer Neil Brown, Jason Campbell to look at Queensland and Tasmanian chasing, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, New South Wales expert Simon Orchard, and the Shane Train Williams rounds it out with his key plays and kennel mail in WA. Now, over to the team for this week's edition of Great Greys.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pete. Good morning, everyone. Welcome along to Great Greys on this Thursday, 28th of November 2024. Lots to look forward to from the world of chasing over the next few days, particularly the big program there. Melbourne Cup night across there at Sandown on Saturday. We'll catch up with Neil Brown and get his thoughts a little later on in the program, the Hall of Famer. And, of course, it was a very busy weekend for our first guest last Friday night there at Mandurah. A couple of feature finals. He went home with the gold medal in the Group 3 Young Stars Classic final, and then later in the night finished runner-up in the other of the features, the Greyhounds WA Chase final. Let's welcome the Shane Train Williams to the program this Thursday morning. Hello, Train, and congratulations. It was a ripper Friday night for you down there at the Coastal Circuit.
Yeah, good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners. Yeah, it was a really good night, Shorty. Always great to win a feature race, and especially with One Year Breed, which I mentioned on the night, and give that very extra special feeling when you see him grow up as a pup and you had the mum and you raced the mum. So, yeah, it was a great night, and yeah, he went really good, the dog. He got a good draw, and he cashed in on that draw. So it was very good and very exciting, Shorty.
Time was there as well. They haven't been running all that quick down at Mandurah in recent times, but to run that 27.04, I thought it was a stunning performance from Iconic Jet.
Yeah, he's always been a fast dog from the get-go, and, you know, he's had 18 starts now, and I think he's sort of slowly starting to put it all together. They actually only just turned 2 years old yesterday, so I think, you know, whatever he's done up to date, it's all been a bonus, you know, and he's ready to sort of go into the first grade of chasing, Shorty, now that he's got all this stuff he's done under 2 years old. You know, it's all been a bonus, and like I said, he can go into these better races now, and he's travelled already, and he's over in Melbourne at the moment. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing him in 6 months' time, Shorty, because I think he'll develop into a really nice dog.
You mentioned he's over in Melbourne. Take us through what the next little bit looks like for Iconic Jet preparation-wise, and what are the major races you're aiming up for over there on the East Coast?
Yeah, so he's going to have a trial tomorrow night at the Meadows. Sandown and Meadows have swapped for the Melbourne Cup, so he's going to go around between races tomorrow night at the Meadows, and then, providing he goes around all right and pulls up okay, the next Saturday night are the heats of the Silver Chief. It's not going to be easy by any means, Shorty. We're going to have dogs like Excavation and Greeno's young dog that's in the Melbourne Cup, and Joey the Jet, and it's not going to be easy for him. But look, the way we are here at the moment, we've only really got Mandurah, and Kennington's, who knows what's happening there. So he could actually be there for 4 or 5 weeks, Shorty. I might just race him over there and give him a look at Sandown, and just until we get Kennington back up and running, because I do not want to run him on the Bend starts. We got away with it last week in his own age, but no, he's going to be up against dogs like Firelighter and Malfetta Cruz if I was to race him here on the Bend start. So, yeah, the main target's Silver Chief, and then, yeah, we'll just play it by ear after that, and maybe leave him over there for a couple of weeks and race in some 3-4 races at Sandown and the Meadows.
Excellent. Well, looking forward to seeing the dog across there. He certainly earned an opportunity. Of course, had a tilt at the SA Derby where the dog finished runner-up, has since come back to WA, taken all before him. And looking forward to seeing his continued progression across there on the East Coast. Let's have a look now. Sandown Park, Saturday night. Can't wait for this program. It's going to be an absolute beauty. And, gee, didn't the West Aussies really fly the flag? There's probably only 2 we can claim as pure West Aussies in Sunset Fraser and also Miss Envy, but the other 2 we can absolutely lay claims to being part Sandgroper at the very least. Buddy Manelli, who kicked off its racing career here in WA, still partly owned in the West, and of course Big Energy, who was across here for the Sandgroper and still partly owned as well here in WA, kicked off its career in the West as well. So basically half the field. It's a pretty fair achievement from the WA crew train, and we're in for a hell of a race. Joey the Jet off the red, Epitomise in 2, Scalacci 3, Sunset Fraser 4, Miss Envy in 5, Explicit 6, Big Energy in 7, and Buddy Manelli in box 8.
Yeah, Shorty, it comes as no surprise, really. Our dogs have, stepped up to the plate the last 5 to 6 years anywhere they go. Elite Machine went up to Brisbane and won. Cody won the Nationals last year. The dogs over here, I'd be quite honest with you, they're up to any dog in the country. So it's come a long way in the short space of time. And, can't wait to see the WA dogs have a crack at the, what can most people say the most prestigious race to win as a trainer, I would say myself.
Oh, no doubt. It'd be a nice one to win, that is for sure. I think purist-wise, the Melbourne Cup and the Golden Easter Egg for me are the two that... there's richer races now that you'd probably prefer to win from an overall prize money perspective, but from a history perspective, I think the Melbourne Cup and the Golden Easter Egg are still the two that do have that extra bit of prestige. Now let's have a look at the market. Explicit $3.70, Joey the Jet $4, Excavation First Reserves there at $4, Sunset Fraser at $4.40, Epitomise $5.50, Big Energy $7, Miss Envy $8. Deadly Avenger 11, 14 for Scalacci, and Buddy Manelli. The draw's not good for the dog out there in box 8, $81. $3.70 the field gives you a pretty good indication that there's many winning hopes.
Yeah, you could almost throw a dart, Shorty, to be honest. I think there was a couple that missed out. Lakeview Emily and Smooth Plain, they were two short price favourites to go down, but I think all the other dogs in the race, probably, it's not a surprise. It's a really good final, and some have even suggested it's the best they've ever seen. So I actually don't mind one at a bit of odds, Shorty. Scalacci. I thought his run was really good last week. And interestingly enough, I heard an interview with the trainer after the race, and he said he just wants a odd box number. He said the dog gets in there and he has a bit more time to settle, and he always jumps when he gets the odd box. So I was very interested when he came up with box 3. And I took $17 yesterday each way, Shorty. I think he's into about $14. So I'm going to be cheering him home hard in the Melbourne Cup, but you wouldn't knock anyone for selecting anything they wanted. Even Buddy Manelli, he's got box 8. He's probably the rank outsider, but on his night he can run as well. So you wouldn't be shocked if anything won, but I like Scalacci each way. What about you? Who do you like, mate?
I thought it was a really difficult race. I don't mind. I've had two small bets on Big Energy and Miss Envy, and the reason behind, I think Sunset Fraser has got the potential to maybe set the race up for them a little bit by chopping down to the inside, and then I thought that the door could be ajar for one of those two to get a tag over, and both of them very capable of running good times. If there's a little bit of mess on the inside, then they could be the two beneficiaries from my perspective. Explicit could as well, but it's $3.70 and they're both basically double the quote. So I could basically have two bets instead of one and have the coverage with 5 and 7s, which is how I played it. Small bets because almost anything could win it. But my play on it, Sunset Fraser, missing it slightly, but they're mustering hard, taking care of 1, 2 and 3, and hopefully Miss Envy or Big Energy being sort of first on the scene to take advantage of that scenario.
Yeah, well, we must mention Sunset Fraser last week, Shorty, breaking the back section record of Fernando Bale. Wouldn't have thought that was ever going to get broken. And to be fair, he hasn't really... he's been ultra consistent since he's been on the road, but he hasn't shown that brilliant run up until last week. And I think a lot of that's got to do with the box draw. He had box 1, and although he didn't spear out, he didn't have to knock anything over sort of finding the fence. So he was on the fence already and then just let rip. 18.35 up the back is obviously as quick as they go. But moving to box 4, can he reproduce that? That's the big question, because obviously a lot of people don't think so, as they're going to let the market shown that. But, yeah, like I said, there's plenty of scenarios you can come across. But also, box 1 in a big final, Joey the Jet, we've always talked about it, Shorty, is a big bonus. And Explicit now, he's been going around in $1 million chases and big races at the short quote. Now he's going to get around to $3 or $4, and he doesn't have the weight of me on his back in the Calcutta like he does in the MDC, Shorty. So plenty of hopes, plenty of chances, and it's going to be a cracking race, and I can't wait to watch it.
Absolutely, be a beauty. Good luck to everybody, and in particular the greyhounds that have got that link to WA. I hope they all perform particularly well. All right, Train, we've got to build a bank prior to that. Northam chasing tonight. Got anything for the punters there?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on a few at Sandown, Shorty. I really like race 5, number 2, Tim Zoo. He's stepping up to the 600 for the first time. He's just had bad box draws and he's been in good races. I think he'll get the job done, but just be very wary of Succeed there. I'm going to save on the Quinella because he can obviously jog up to Tim Zoo if he wanted to, but he doesn't always want to go past. So race 5, number 2, Tim Zoo, and then race 7, number 2, Excavation. Shorty, very unlucky. I think he ran 29.05, getting beat by Sunset Frazier. He was the third quickest dog in the Melbourne Cup heats, but didn't get through because he didn't win. And then race 9, number 2, Warm Cockles is my third tip there on Sandown. Short. He's been racing Explicit, getting beat a couple of lengths in 29.19, and then last week he was runner-up to a very fast dog as well. So 5-2, 7-2 and 9-2 I like at Sandown to go on Melbourne Cup night. We'll get to Northam tonight now, Shorty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Northam tonight. Good race meeting up there. I really like race 4, number 8. This is a dog trained by Jade Jacobson. She's probably going to kick me in the shins when I get up there, Shorty, if she hears me tipping it. But, look, this little girl's got a lot of early speed, and I think she can find the front in this race. And the wide-running Jungle Room in box 1 is having his first look at Northam. And I think if El Bandoleros can find the front and Jungle Room just gets off the track at the first turn, he hasn't seen the track, Shorty. He's having his first start there, and as we know, that first corner can be very tight for dogs not knowing where they're going, and he is a wide runner in general. So my plan of thinking here is that 8 finds the front, and then 1 causes some carnage on the first turn and could leave the 8 a long way in front. So I haven't seen any prices yet, but race 4, number 8, El Bandoleros to kick us off, and we will tread very warily there, Shorty, as it is a maiden race. But yeah, I think if she can find the front and the red causes drama at the first turn, she could get left a long way in front.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
Not a bad spot for a quiet meal across there in Carlton either, Lygon Street. I hope Luigi is well heading down the main street there today. Train, we're looking at Northam. Race 4, number 8, El Bandoleros is the first of your plays tonight there at Northam. What else do you have for the punters?
Yeah, we'll go across to race 8, Shorty, number 4, Silent Assassin. He had no luck last week and was brilliant 2 starts back, lighting up the clock, running 29.36. That was from the same draw as well. So he meets a bit of a strong lineup tonight, but I think if he gets the start right, he can be hard to beat. Shorty, race 8, number 4, Silent Assassin.
All right, and the third play?
We'll go down to race 10, number 1. This is a dog called Pingelly Prince, trained by Corey White. Now, Shorty, he gets the greatest map of all time here, drawn underneath Page 1 News, who we know loves to put the right-hand blinker on at the first turn as soon as them lids open. He can run a bit, this dog. He's run 29.67, 4 starts back, so he's going to get a lovely run to the corner. And if he's good enough, he'll be hard to beat. Race 10, number 1, Pingelly Prince.
All righty, race 4, number 8, race 8, number 4, race 10, number 1 tonight there at Northam. Anything kennel mail-wise for the punters?
I thought Enjoyable could go close tonight. She's only in a 5-dog field now. She all but led last week and had her back legs taken from underneath her, so I'm happy to have a little small bet on her. Then Tuesday night, Shorty, got a newcomer debuting. There's no box draw yet, but he's a little brother to Curious Georgia, and his name is Pay, and he doesn't go too bad, this fella. He's not far behind her, so he's only lightly raced, and he's got a lot of grades to win, so I think he'll be hard to beat. Pay on Tuesday night.
Is that one of Benny Damon's as well?
No, it's the same litter, but it's not his. Someone else owns it, so yeah, they'll obviously watched her go over here and succeed, and they've sent him over to me, and he's a really nice dog, and got 8 starts for 3 wins. So, like I say, he's got a lot of grades to win, and hopefully he can go through them fairly quickly, and he can have a crack at the Birthday Cup, hopefully in about 6 weeks' time.
Very nice indeed. Well, are you being rewarded for the job that you're doing with Georgia, with the litter mate coming across? Very nice. Beautifully done, Train. Enjoy your week upcoming.
All the best, Shorty. Thanks, Funners.
This is your home of the Greyhound Good Oil, Great Greys.
Well, it's time to catch up with our man Jason Campbell with all of the latest for the program tonight at Albion Park, as well as down there in Tassie at Hobart. G'day, JC. How do we find you today?
Very Very well, Shorty. A little bit hot over here on the eastern seaboard, but nothing like what you guys face there on a daily basis, so I can't be complaining too much. Looking forward to the races heating up tonight at Albion Park.
Indeed, yes, some very good chasing to look forward to there. You've been in hot form as always. It seems to never leave you, JC. We'll see if we can't do something similar tonight there at the Creek. Take us through your key plays on the program, please.
Race 2, number 6, Phase Magic. This bitch returns from a 3-month break. We last saw her over in South Australia, running third to Raiders Guide in that Group 1 national distance final. I like her returning to Masters Company. She's ticked over 3.5 years of age. Obviously does drop back in distance, but she is on the fresh side. I think she's clearly the class runner of this race, and as long as she gets through that first corner unscathed, I think she'll prove too strong late in the piece.
Race 2, number 6, Phase Magic. We then move down to race number 7, and you team up with one of the more talented greyhounds in the nation when this dog is right.
Yes, race 7, number 4, Jay is Jay. Returned from retirement in that Ipswich Cup heat where things didn't quite go his way. But last week we saw him return to his brilliant best. Probably doesn't have the speed that he once shown back in a previous life, I guess we could say. But he was really strong late in the piece, defeating Cluster by a length in 30 and 16. I think that run under his belt should do him the world of good. Most importantly here is either dog drawn either side of him, Magistrate and Kia Kaha. They both have brilliant speed. I think they'll very easily get past him. I think he can sit third and once again hopefully finish off over the top of them. I think he's a really nice price, and I expect him to start a little bit shorter, closer to jump.
Indeed. Race 7, number 4, Jay is Jay. Watch for this dog to be rattling home hard at them. Wonderful career strike rate. 1.56 million in career prize money. If you do not mind punters, that takes a bit of earning, that is for sure and certain. And we saved the best till last there at Albion Park for tonight, JC.
Yes, race 9, number 2, Duff Man, named after famous Simpsons character. He steps up to the middle distance for the first time tonight, and I think this will be his pet track and trip moving forward. He's been a dog that's always established the line over the 520 metres at both Ipswich and Albion Park. His run home times have always been sensational. Up to the 600 metres, it should allow him to race a little bit closer to the speed. Should be able to cross the red here, Ace's Chance, very convincingly. I think he is a little bit on the short side from a price perspective, so if you are diving in with me, I think you should wait late. Expect him to drift a little bit. I didn't expect him to go up as short as he did. He's probably more of a $1.80 chance in this field, and I think we might see that close to the jump.
All right, so be patient. Just keep your powder dry there, punters, and you might be able to team up with Duffman a little closer to start time at potentially a slightly better price. So we've got race 2, number 6, Phase Magic, race 7, number 4, Jay is Jay, race 9, number 2, Duffman. The 3 key plays for Jace Campbell tonight there at Albion Park. What about down in Tassie? We've got Hobart chasing tonight. Take us through your better bets there.
Yes, racing's heating up down in Tasmania. We've got Group 1 Hobart 1000 heats coming up in the next week or two. But race 4, number 2, B Dale. She's a bitch that comes out of a really talented litter. Shimmershine, My Desiree. A few dogs out of that litter, such as Eaton and Seaton. 2 dogs to watch moving forward into the future. I'm sure they will be going inland very, very shortly. She hasn't been able to defeat those dogs in the past 4 starts, but she gets a very important, I guess, class drop, or not really a grade drop. She doesn't have those hot litter mates in this race. I think she has brilliant box speed. She should be able to find the front here, and I think the price is fair enough considering she looks the sole leader in a weak enough race. All
righty, race 4, number 2, B Dale, and then we head down to race number 9.
Yes, number 1, Mr. Fahrenheit. He has been backed off the map, and a few punters might be scratching their head because his numerical form of late doesn't read all that well, but he has drawn really awfully in his last 3 starts, boxes 7, 7 and 8. All you have to do is watch the replays of this fella. He's jumped on terms, just hasn't been able to cross from those wide boxes. Gets back into the red here, which is extremely important. 11 starts, 4-5 wins. Backed off the map here, and I think he'll be a pretty comfortable watch in the penultimate race at Hobart.
Very nice. Race 4, number 2, Badale to go with race 9, number 1, Mr. Fahrenheit down there at Tasmania tonight in Hobart. Beautifully done, JC. We'll get your thoughts, of course, on the Jet Set podcast with our tips that we'll be putting out there tomorrow. And appreciate your time, as always, here on Great Greys Legend. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Shorty. You too, mate.
You are tuned into Shorty and the team on Great Greys.
It's time to catch up with the Hall of Famer Neil Brown to have a look at this stunning program at Sandown on Saturday night. Melbourne Cup night is going to be absolutely first class. Welcome to you, Neil.
Yes, good morning, David. Looking forward to the big dance on Saturday night. It's an outstanding field as we expect it to be, and it's a very even race and fiercely betting. You can if you fancy something, you're getting a decent price, David.
Yeah, $3.80 the field. It really tells you the tale. Strong WA flavour as well, with 4 WA bred dogs, a couple that have been bred there, and it's the dream of most West Aussies that are involved in this sport to take home a Melbourne Cup at some stage. So good luck to them all. I hope that they go close in the big one there on a Saturday night. Take us through your thoughts. So on the program, we've got a massive quaddie carryover on races 5, 6, 7 and 8, but you can start us off with the early quaddie on Saturday. Neil, how are we going to approach it?
Yes, we've got a mixed stake. Kept it pretty tight for most of the quaddie legs on Saturday night. I've called 1, 4, 3 in this mixed 6th and 7th grade. I think My Hummingbird is the greyhound to beat. Nice draw, a couple of wins here, and box 1 hard to beat from there. Race number 2, a mixed 4th and 5th grade here over the 5.95. I do like the greyhound from box number 8, Shake It Off. Been racing in pretty good form. Won 3 of her last 4, a couple of the Meadows and 1 here. So on top, number 8, and I'm going to take 6 and 7. I think they've both got some sort of chance in the race as well. Race number 3, here we've got the Vic Bred Maiden Series final, and good competitive race. I'm going to take 5, 6 and 4. I do like Pearly Noir from the Daryl Holmes, veteran trainer Daryl Holmes. This little girl won a heat in 29.43 from box number 4. Got the 5. Not a lot of speed around, I don't think, and I think can win 5, 6 and 4. The 4th is a restricted win final here over the 5.15. I'm taking 2, 5 and 4. I like Gambella from box number 2 for Anthony Azzopardi. Was the quickest time at the Meadows. Has won there in very quick time, and 2 from 3 here on the track. So I think Gambella's the one to beat, but certainly chances to 5 and 4. Well, we keep going, David, into the Sir John Dillon, leg 1 of the main quaddie, race number 5.
Yeah, you've got 40 seconds to get your bets on race 1, Caulfield Heath here, punters. I reckon we can make it a start. We'll go through the first leg and then we can throw to Caulfield. Brownie?
Yeah, time on a Sir John Dillon Memorial here over the 5.95. I'm going to take 6, 2 and 1. I've got going to stick with Hector Fawley. He's got 8 wins over this distance on the track. We know he races very well here. I thought he was a good solid run. He's been in reasonable form, not having a lot of luck. I thought he was a reasonable run last week. I'm going to stick with him. Tim Zoo's the interesting runner. Hasn't been over the 5.95, but I'm sure Jason Thompson wouldn't have him in the race if he didn't think he was going to perform well at the distance and succeed. Always thereabouts. Got fast winning time here. I think they're the 3 to beat in the first leg of the quaddie, David.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
Well, we're chatting with Neil Brown, having a look at the main quaddie at Sandown on Saturday night for Melbourne Cup night. 6, 2 and 1 the first leg. On to the second leg of the main quaddie, Brownie, and it is for the stayers over the 715 metres. Some very nice types engaged here. How are we taking this second leg?
Yeah, group listed Cup night stayers event. I'm taking 6, 7 and 2. Pretty open affair, I think. I like Shake and Bake. Good fast winning time on the track of 41.85. Been in pretty good form with some Meadows wins. And I think Shears Fire from New South Wales looks the leader in the race. Got plenty of early pace as a chance. And off the inside, Wild Cash and Honest Type. And I'm probably leaving the favourite out the red. But 6, 7 and 2 for us, David.
Very nice.
Race number 7, and we've got the Cup night sprint here. Pretty good field engaged, as you would expect. 2, 4 and 1. Excavation coming from box number 8 last week. Not much luck out there. He's coming into 2. He'll be very, very hard to beat. Will start favourite, no doubt. Plenty of money for Mapunga Tully off the red, racing very well from box number 1. And I think Blue Camaro certainly didn't lose any fans last week. Was a very good run. It's racing in super form. We'll take 2, 1, 4 in the third leg. The 5.15 metre group listed Cup night sprint. Coming home with the Bold Treese final over the distance, 7.15 metres. Good race, pretty wide open. I'm going to stick with Can You All class, but I'm going to take 2, 1 and 5. She hasn't done much wrong. He hasn't done much wrong. Racing pretty well, in good form, and a solid win last week in the heat. Black Silencer, plenty of money for him. He's got certainly some claims from box number 1, and Ethanol Water is always thereabouts, certainly a chance in the race. So 2, 1 and 5, David. Will we move on to the Melbourne Cup, race number 10?
This is your home of the Greyhound Good Oil, Great GREYS.
Indeed, and speaking of great greys, we're speaking of the greatest greyhound race on the calendar each and every year. It is the Melbourne Cup final over the 515 metres at Sandown on Saturday night. And our Hall of Famer Neil Brown now joins us to have a look at this year's feature. Neil, a wonderful lineup, outstanding performances from all runners to get through in their heats last week. How have you broken it down?
Yeah, I'm going to go for the young dog drawn. I just like the draw, David. Epitomise, very impressed with the 497. I think if he can find himself in front in the first 3 around that first turn, you've got to respect Explicit and Big Energy, both sub-29 recorded winners on the track. They've got super ability, but they've got to do a bit of work from 6 and 7 in this classy field. Miss Envy on the inside, Sunset Fraser, both went quick. So it's a star-studded lineup. So maybe the youngster, we've seen a couple do it, Canton Vale and way back to Hewer. He'd only had about 12 starts, so the dog doesn't know how old he is or how many starts he's had, David, does he? He's just been put in the boxes and going to put his head down. He's come out in most of his starts, so sticking with the youngster at a bit of odds, Epitomise. My best bet on the card, going to race 11, Rihanna's Pride from box number 3, around the $3 mark. Lots of early pace and looks the leader. Not a lot of pace drawn around the greyhound. So race 11, number 3 out best. And a couple for tonight, David. Geelong, race 8, number 8. I'm very keen about Crackerjack Bull. He's around 320 mark. Classy greyhound. Think he can get home at Geelong. And in race 11, number 4, Chemical Rose is about the 380 mark. Also quick early. I expect it to lead over the 400 and get home. So let's hope we can get a little bit tonight to take us into Saturday night, David.
Magnificent, Neil. Yeah, that would certainly pay a couple of bills for us there on the Thursday and give us a nice big bank to operate with on this stunning program there at Sandown on Saturday night. Neil, to yourself and all the team there at Sandown, wishing you guys all the very best, and great to see race 9 on the night. Named after your good self, the Neil Brown Museum there. Make sure if you're dropping in to have a look on Melbourne Cup night that you drop into the Neil Brown Museum there. It is on the ground floor. It's a very, very special place to drop in. Good on you, Neil. Appreciate your time, mate. Good luck. All the very best for Saturday night.
Thanks, David. Look forward to talking to you next week, mate.
You're listening to Great GREYS on Tab Radio.
Where we're catching up with Sean Matheson from South Australia for all of the latest across there over the next few days. Welcome to you, Sean.
Yeah, hi, David. Great to be on the show again with you. Looking forward to plenty of good racing tonight at Angle Park, and as you mentioned, over the next couple of days as well, where we will actually see our Oaks heats at Murray Bridge on Sunday night. So a really nice program there for the listeners.
All righty, one to look forward to there on the weekend. And we've got Masters Series taking place as well tonight there at Angle Park. Take us through your key plays this evening out there at headquarters.
Yeah, for sure. So the first of the best bets I've got for the listeners comes up in the first race. So hopefully we can get the money nice and early for the listeners. I like race 1, number 1, Super Sequin for Kim Johnson. This greyhound had her first run last week in a maiden event, drew a wide box in a small field, really wanted to get down to the rail, and had a good battle with another greyhound early in the event, but showed good potential to run away with the event over the concluding stages, running a time around that sort of 31.05. It's a big step up to go from maiden company to grade 6 company, David, but I think she's drawn perfectly box 1, looks like she wants the rail, and has the speed here in this race, I think, just to lead. There's a few dogs from Mount Gambier in the race. They're a bit unknown, but I just think she's going to lead, and I think she's going to prove really hard to beat. So obviously it improves a little bit. At the $2.50 as the favourite, I think she's a really good bet first up.
All righty, getting it early. Race 1, number 1, Super Sequin. On to the second of your plays.
Second of the plays is the second best bet, and that will actually come up in race 8, and it's number 7, Ethanol Extra, again for Kim Johnson. Hopefully she's going to have a really nice night tonight at Angle Park. This greyhound, very good run last week, running 4th in what was probably a stronger race than what she's meeting here tonight. She's quoted at $4, had a little bit of support. I just feel like she's going to get a nice run into the race from a wide draw. There's not a lot of speed in the race, so just come out on level terms, can sit wide, very strong late. So expect Ethanol Extra to be really running home, probably from a midfield position, nice and strong late, and be hard to hold out.
Very nice. Race 8, number 7, Ethanol Extra, member of a very talented litter. And the third of your plays tonight at Angle Park, please.
Third of the plays, David, is more of an each-way roughie play, and I've got to go back to race 3. And as you mentioned, we've got some Masters heats on the program, which is really excellent to have 3 Masters races on the one program, and they'll all go to the final. But in race 3, at an each-way quote, I do like number 8, Immense, Maddie Schultz, quoted around that $18 mark. She did beat a similar field 3 runs ago from box 4, going 31.01, then 4th a few weeks ago. Then not a bad running 5th last week behind Doonan, who she does meet here tonight. I think the key with her is she needs the lead to do her absolute best. And while she hasn't won from an outside draw, she has been placed half of the time, and she is a dog capable of going sub 5:30 to the first turn. So the key for her is drawn a bit wide. There is no real speed to her inside. She gets an opportunity to build momentum and hopefully cross. And if she crosses, I think she's a chance to definitely run a bold race, first or second. So definitely an each-way play, but a little bit of trouble to some of the favourites. She could find herself a fair way out in front.
All righty, so we've got race 1, number 1, Super Sequin, race 8, number 7, Ethanol Extra, and the value play, race 3, number 8, Immense, Gawler Friday, Murray Bridge Sunday. You've got about 30 seconds to get your bets on here. Race 2, punters at Hawkesbury.
So just to be quick, Gawler, race 3, number 8, Jungle Boogie for Vadam Roz, lightly raced, will be suited by a wide draw, should be really hard to hold out. And then at Murray Bridge, the first of our Oaks heats, as I mentioned, race 4, number 1, Bewitch, now in the care of Lauren Harris from Kieran Corby. Very powerful greyhound, good run 2 runs ago, should be getting the job done for us.
Beautiful. Race 4, number 1, Bewitched, Murray Bridge Sunday to go with Gawler Friday. Race 3, number 8, Jungle Boogie. Hopefully you're boogieing all the way to the bank this weekend, courtesy of those tips from Sean Matheson. Sean, appreciate your time as always, mate. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll catch you next Thursday here on Great GREYS.
Terrific, David. We'll talk then.
Thank you. Race number 2, Hawkesbury, Maddie, starting to move into the barriers here. Once this is run and won, we will return with Simon Orchard taking us through all of his key New South Wales plays over the next few days.
You are tuned into Shorty and the team on Great GREYS.
Where it is 7 minutes away from 11 o'clock. It's probably the omen pick, the grey, while Great GREYS is operating, and duly salutes for the punters, and no doubt our next guest will find us plenty of good things as well. Simon Orchard. Hello, Simon. How's everything going across there in Sydney town?
Yeah, g'day, Shorty. G'day, listeners. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. I'm on the side of the road, mate, on the way back from the GRNSW Christmas party last night, and I'm on the way to the Maitland Cup. The heat's kicking off. Oh, a couple of hours, I reckon. Maybe, what do we got? 4:30 around then's the first heat of the Group 2 Maitland Cup. 4 ripping heats up here in the Hunter Valley. So, mate, I'm doing what all good soldiers do, backing up off a big night and getting out on track today to hopefully enjoy. And maybe at the end of the night I can have a little beer just to wash down what was a big night of celebrations for the GRNSW team last night.
Excellent. Well, it's a bit rough that they've got you on the quick backup there, Simon. But well, you give a champion a task and he's able to come through with the goods. So I'm sure you'll get through it okay. Let's have a look then. You're off to Maitland and the Cup heats there. Anything standing out there for the punters to have a look at?
Yeah, there sure is. Look, the first heat's race 7 on the program, dog by the name of Ali Pango for Joe McFadgen. There's been a couple of, I guess, preliminary sort of races the last couple of weeks, mate. Ali Tango won one last Monday, so 10 days ago, and it was a ripping run against some of the really fancied runners who were lining up in the heats. I spoke to Joe McFadden this morning. It's a dog that just needs a couple of steps off the mat, Shorty, to really get going. And from box 6, I think that's sort of the area that this dog wants to be. It won the Macca around about a month ago at Newcastle in flying time, ran a bottler in the $1 Million Chase City qualifiers, and it's a dog that's just rounding into some nice form. Third in the Mid-North Coast Cup as well a couple of weeks back. So Ali Tango in the first heat, I think, is a special. Angel Shirley, race 8, number 3, also a dog I think you can back with with good confidence. Peter Gaglione, mate, just continues to win. Unearthed a couple in the maiden heats on Monday that look like they're really promising, and Angel Shirley's one that I've got a lot of time for. She won the gold mine at Gosford 2 months back. She was a dog that we had high hopes for going into the $1 Million Chase. Just didn't get a lot of luck in the semi-finals, but she's pretty lightly raced for a girl that's got a lot of ability, and she actually came through the Maitland Future Stars maiden last year, Shorty. So that's what we love to see, right? We mentioned a dog like Zipping Megatron who came through the $1 Million Chase maiden and then ran in the final this year. Well, Angel Shirley, she ran 4th last year in the maiden here at Maitland behind Rinse the Lot. She comes back this year for a crack at the Cup. So I think 8-3, Angel Shirley's not a bad bet as well. And then I just want to go to the 10th. Barefoot Zulu is a really intriguing runner, mate. Broke the record at Grafton earlier this year, was a dog on everyone's lips coming down for a crack at the semi-finals of the $1 Million Chase, but was scratched with a toe injury. So he returns today. Joe McFadden's looking after him. He's the favourite, but gee whiz, I just don't know if I can get him around 220. So there's a dog, You Never Lose, for the Sultana Kennel and Daryl Thomas, who rarely runs a bad race. I mentioned lightly raced dogs earlier in the form of Angel Shirley. Well, Michelle and Daryl don't usually go to the track unless they think they can win, and You Never Lose from box 1, I think, can upset Barefoot Zulu, who's run some bottler races up here at Maitland in the past, but still, I think You Never Lose 10-1. So just to recap, 7-6 Ali Tango, 8-3 Angel Shirley, and 10-1 You Never Lose. The best bets in the Maitland Cup each to Savo, mate.
Very nice. That looks like some nice little multi-business for our listeners there today. 7, 6, 8, 3, 10, 1, Maitland. We've also got Wendy Park tonight, Dapto Thursday. Gee whiz, New South Wales chasing on a Thursday has now become an absolute avalanche of chasing. It all happens there from Thursday lunchtime right through to late Thursday night. It's a bonanza for greyhound punters New South Wales on a Thursday. You got anything for us at Wendy Park or Dapto tonight, Sight?
Yeah, I tell you what, the graders didn't think through the programming when they put the Christmas party on a Wednesday, then put all these big races on a Thursday. Gee, we need to fix that up next year. But, yeah, a couple tonight. Look, a bit short now, but 1-7 Zipping Costa at Wenty Park. This dog's trained by Jace Magri. Zipping Niseko was the mum. She ran second in the Top Gun staying contest. So this dog's going to be strong, or this bitch, I should say, is going to be strong as she gets through her grades. But I think she ran a really good race behind Mr. Nico 2 weeks ago. Mr. Nico came out and won again last week, so the form stacks up. And I think 1-7 Zipping Costa, you can get some money earlier. Then you're going to have to wait till the last. 10-2 Unreal Charm is the best bet on the program at Wenty Park tonight. $4. Box 2, as I mentioned, that was $4.40 earlier on today, so there's been a bit of market support. 10-2 Unreal Charm at Wenty Park. And if you want to have a play at Dapto tonight, 3-4 Trips and Cars. 3-4 Trips and Cars. Andrew Bell got a lot of greyhounds running around and, you know, had 70 or 80 winners so far this year, but I think Trips and Cars has got some promise and can knock them over at Dapto tonight. So 3-4, the best bet on the card there tonight, mate.
Beautiful. 3-4 Trips and Cars. Anything else to add before we bid you a farewell and let you get a little bit of water, a bit of H2O into the system before a big afternoon there at Maitland?
No, just make sure you tune in, thedogs.com.au. I'll be there. If I'm a little bit gravelly, Shorty, bear with me. Hopefully I can work my way into it. The quick backup is an unknown for the Orchard lineage, so we'll just see how we go today.
I'm backing you in to just go to another level again, given your fitness levels, great man. You'll absolutely smack this out of the park. No problem at all. 100% confidence with you this afternoon. Thanks as always for your time, mate. Enjoy Maitland.
Good on you, Shorty. Hooroo, punters.
There we have it, Simon Orchard. He's a trooper. He's done a very big job to pick up the phone for us today there after their big Christmas party there at GRNSW overnight. That brings to a close Great Greys on this Thursday, the 28th of November. Thanks as always for your company. It's very much appreciated. We'll be back with Chasing Winners tomorrow morning between 9 and 10 o'clock right here on TAB Radio. While racing on the road is taking place, there'll be no live audio for the Jet Set podcast, but we will get the thoughts from Corey Smith and also Jason Campbell for the meetings at Sandown on Saturday night for Melbourne Cup night. Also for the big program at Wentworth Park from JC. We get Bonesy Harmon's Darwin tips and myself, the train, Jesse Earnshaw, Ryan Levitsky. All of those tips will be there on the blog for Jet Set this upcoming weekend. A huge thanks for your company, and Matty McDermott, as always, outstanding, manning the ship and doing things beautifully. Thank you, Matty. Enjoy the remainder of your Thursday, and likewise to all of our listeners, many winners to you all for the remainder of this Thursday.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.